Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Jaya Radha Gopina Vallabha Radha Gopina Vallabha Radhe Jaya Nitai Patita Pavan Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Patita Pavan Gaura Hari Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Om Jnana-Mirandhasya Jnana-Janashalakaya Chakshurunnitam Yeha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapada Shri Guru Vaishnavamsa Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jayapade Gopesha Taptaganjana Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanuste Pranamami Harindiye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya eva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Gauravani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्त हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं So we're reading from third canto, 31st chapter, 44th shloka. जीवो ह्यस्यानुगो देहो भूतेन्द्रियमनोमयः तन्निरोधोऽस्य मरणम् आविर्भावस्तु संभवः 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 Jiva, the living entity, indeed, asya, of him, anugaha, suitable, deha, body, bhuta, gross material elements, indriya, senses, manaha, mind, mayaha, made of, of the body, nirodha, destruction, asya, of the living entity, maranam, death, avirbhava, manifestation, but Sambhava, birth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace HG Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jai. In this way, the living entity gets a suitable body with a material mind and senses, according to his fruitful activities. When the reaction of his particular activity comes to an end, that end is called death. And when a particular type of reaction begins, that beginning is called birth. From time immemorial, the living entity travels in different species of life and the different planets, almost perpetually. This process is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Yantra Rudhani Maya. Bhagavad Gita 18.61. Under the spell of Maya, everyone is wandering throughout the universe on the carriage of the body offered by the material energy. Materialistic life involves a series of action and reactions. It is a long film spool of actions and reactions. And one lifespan is just a flash in such a reactionary show. When a child is born, it is to be understood that his particular type of body is the beginning of another set of activities. And when an old man dies, it is to be understood that that one set of reactionary activities is finished. We can see that because of different reactionary activities, one man is born in a rich family and another is born in a poor family. Although both of them are born in the same place, at the same moment, and in the same atmosphere, one who's carrying pious activity with him is given a chance to take his birth in a rich or pious family, and one who's carrying impious activity is given a chance to take birth in a lower poor family. The change of body means to change to a different field of activities. Similarly, when the body of the boy changes into that of a youth, the boyish activities change into youthful activities. It is clear that a particular body is given to the living entity for a particular type of activity. This process is going on perpetually from a time which is impossible to trace out. Vaishnava poets say, therefore, anadi karma phale, which means that these actions and reactions of one's activity cannot be traced. For they may even continue from the last millennium of Brahma's birth from the last millennium of Brahma's birth to the next millennium. We have seen this example, we have seen the example in the life of Narada Muni. In one millennium, he was the son of a maid servant. And in the next millennium, he became a great sage. So asked to speak on this verse by Visham Kishore Prabhu. I'm not qualified to sit on this Vyasasana for the reason. It is said, the first canto, that a person whose contact is not pure should not sit on a Vyasasana. And the person whose thought, word, and deed are not in the same line should not speak. But anyway, for the sake of purification, I'm speaking something. Forgive me if I'm presumptuous. So, this part is very, like I think Mother Malati was saying last week, it's a very, very heavy part of Srimad Bhagavatam, which exposes the raw nature of this world. So this whole section looks things from a very different perspective. Like you would have never understood birth and death in this way. We could have never seen what birth means and what death means. Right? At least when I heard from Srila Prabhupada, when devotee was giving this lecture, he was reading out a letter of how Srila Prabhupada reacted to someone's, they're suffering a chronic disease and they're going to die. And Prabhupada's reaction to death was very surprising. Right? When I joined Krishna consciousness. Right? And also, throughout Krishna consciousness, our definitions of many things get revisited. So our conception of success, failure, happiness, distress, achievement, shame, all these things actually stem from an identity. From that identity, I decide these definitions. And based on these definitions, I ascertain myself to be good, bad, nice, not nice, so on and so forth. So this whole material world is actually under the grip of the bodily designation, bodily identity. And under that impression of bodily identity, there are different variations, there are different intensities, there are different permutations and combinations of that identity. And under the influence of such different permutations and combinations, everyone comes up with a different definition of success, failure, happiness, distress, philosophies of what good means to them, what bad means to them, and they propagate it, with great enthusiasm through different social media platforms and so on. So everything that others are saying, we have to see where is that coming from. Is someone sad? Is someone happy? For something, someone is selling something to Mars, someone is bringing a new car to the market, they are happy. Someone is not happy. In this way, if we analyze all these events in this world, we can understand all of them are having the same category, that they are all coming from the same bodily conception. They might appear in so many different forms, they might appear in so many different names, but they all have the same disease of the material conception of life. And in this material conception of life, what is the problem in the material conception of life? What is the problem? In the material conception of life, I die many times. This is the problem. Every person is dying every day. Very interesting. It's telling, Tan nirodho asya maranam. Jivo hi asya anubho deho udhendriya manomaya. So this jiva is getting a deham. So what is this deham? I was not thinking this body kind of prithvi, apaprithvi, vayu, akasham. That is body, earth. This is deham. This is not the, this is one deham. But what is the deham? The house I have also is a deham. Idam shariram tamte kshetra vidhiriyate. Krishna mentions etat yo idam prabhu kshetra vidhiriyate. So this body is also a deham I'm getting. Jivo yasya anubho deham. And I'm having a certain philosophy also. That's also. I'm having a certain thought process, a certain approach to see people. This person, that approach is also a deham. That reaction. Deham means my way of reacting reacting to outside. That is called Deham. If I'm having a certain material body, if I say I'm living in an apartment. If I'm living in that apartment, when I react to someone living in California in a mansion, it will be different. Based on which house I'm living, I'll be reacting. So that reaction is my body. That reaction, when I'm conscious of this body, I will react in a certain way. And that reaction reinforces this body. See what I'm saying? This is called Karma Chakra. I have a certain type of body. This body has many layers. And based on this body, I'm reacting. And that reaction reinforces this body. And because of that reinforcement, my reaction becomes more pronounced. And then based on that reaction, I make friendships. And I make enemies. And in this way, this reaction gets more directness. It has now brother, sister, mother-in-law, father-in-law, all these things it gets. And in this way, the branch is increasing of these reactions. Now, material nature, this karma, it won't only happen. Is getting a deham. Bhutendriya manomaya. What is this manifestation of this deham? It is Bhutendriya manomaya. It is a manifestation of my thought. It is the consciousness is manifested as certain body. Satkaryavadam. Satkaryavadam means the effect is pre-existent in the cause. I cannot complain anyone, anything. I cannot complain of my spouse, I cannot complain of this, I cannot complain of my situation, I cannot complain of my body, nothing I can complain. Why? The effect is a manifestation of the cause. The cause was present in a very sukshma bhava. I was not able to see. I didn't prepare for the exam for 3 months. That lack of preparation was sukshma avastha. I wrote the exam. It came into sthula avastha. I saw the marks. Most sthulest avastha. I did not write. It was already present in the sukshma avastha. I was not able to see it. But when it is coming to sthula avastha, I don't like this. Krishna consciousness means to make our intelligence more subtle, to look at these causes in advance and predict what reaction is going to come about because of this cause. This jnanam, this Bhagavad Tattva Vijnanam is called Adhyatma Vidya. This is Sanatana Dharma, this is Krishna consciousness, this is Bhagavad Dharma. To understand this Karya Karana Sambandha, what Karanam leads to what Karyam under what Desha Kala Avastha. Not all Karanam lead to the same Karya. For instance, I am reading Bhagavatam. Now this Bhagavatam, you can say it is a Karana. But what Karyam it will lead me to? I will not get useless person. I need to go to spiritual master street and beg. I won't get Sri Guru Nishtha by reading this. Actually, if I read this, I should get Sri Guru Nishtha. This is the goal. Goal of reading everything in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is the goal of everything? To cry at the feet of spiritual master that what am I doing? To become aware of the predicament I am in and translate that predicament to Sri Guru Nishtha. That is it. That's it. And the Sri Guru Nishtha, it becomes more and more solidified. I'm seeing everything, and everything is coming and concluding in the same one entity, which is Sri Guru Nishtha. I'm hearing 100 lectures talking about 100 things. But all of them must converge in one entity, that is called Messiah. If I'm hearing 100 lectures about 100 things, and all of them I'm getting confused, that means I do not have Sri Guru Nishtha. Oh, this person is asking me to meditate on Sri Nityananda Prabhu. That is Bhagavad, that is Amrish Maharaj, this is Bhagavad Gita, that is Mahabharata, this is Ramayana. Now what should I do now? An intelligent person can understand all of these converge in just one entity, which is the Guru. That's it. So anyway, but my point is, if I read this Karanam need not lead to the Karanam. Why? I don't have the Krishna. See, this person really doesn't want to. He wants to, when he speaks, he wants to get a little more body. That's okay. Go. He will not give you the prasadam of Shri Krishna. Anyway, the point is, not all Karanam lead to the same Karanam. It leads to the circumstances. It depends on the Adhikar. Anyway, the point is that we are in different Deha. And I'm proud of this different Deha. I identify on the basis of this different Deha. And I identify myself, and because I identify myself in a certain way, that I have this house, I have this family, I have these children, very strong. This form, this body takes two forms, two shapes. One is, this body has got two bodies, designations. That is how bodily conception works. It's not that I am thinking, I am this heart, I am this hand, I am this ear. Not that I'm thinking like that. I'm thinking in terms of how to satisfy my body and my extended body. Actually, we're all thinking every moment, I mean, I should say this every time. Every moment, I'm actually thinking of myself. Every person is thinking about myself. But this self is actually getting externalized right now. We can look at three levels of people. So one is the karmis, another is the jnanis, another is the devotees. The karmis are thinking about their own, everyone, all the three people, the same three jatis are there. Everyone is thinking about their own self. No one is thinking about anything other than oneself. Okay? This is the premise. Now, the karmi is thinking about, he thinks this self, which means the self means what is the self? What I'm conscious about is myself. If I'm conscious about something, that means I understand that is myself. If I'm not conscious of it, what does conscious mean? That means I derive my sense of existence, my sense of curiosity, and derive my sense of happiness from that entity. Satchitananda. If I derive my sense of existence from that entity, then that is my existence. I live there. Now the karmis, they derive their sense of existence from external, which means external energy of the Lord. In so many names, with so many forms it has. And with different forms it has got different names. And they identify with these material names and material forms. They identify with these material names and material forms. And when they identify with this, they derive their sense of existence. My son died, my daughter died, my children died, my husband died. Bhagavatam is saying, Tad nirodho asya maran. This body that I'm associating with Tad nirodha, it will disappear when that karma I have is over. Tad nirodha. That body will go away. I have this phone. I'm looking at the Bhagavatam verse. My karma is there. I need to have this until 8, whatever it is, 8:54. I drop this one, it gets destroyed. This is my Deham now. Tad nirodha asya maran. If it gets destroyed, Tad nirodha, it is getting destroyed. My Deham now. Because my extension of it, don't think my body alone is my Deham. I identify with so many things. If my body alone is my Deham, it is easy. For a brahmachari or a sannyasi, he has already realized, already I have this Deham. I don't want any other Deham. Boom, contracted only in this body. Right? I said, no, I want to mess with this more. And then have more Deham outside. increase my deham. And then what happens? Then that nirodham also happens. No nirodha. My job is also my deham. No, don't fire me. Tad nirodha asya maranam. My boss was telling me yesterday, we do not know what the year lies ahead. It is a very, very important year for all of us. Right? If we don't perform this year, we can get fired. Tad nirodha asya maranam. If I identify with my job, then what happens? I feel like dying. So when I identify with this material world, this nirodham is happening every moment. There is a surprise. Prabhupada is saying very beautifully. We are embarrassed with this material world. I'm embarrassed. Why? I'm made to feel ashamed. I'm made to feel ashamed. I'm made to feel like if I go to someone for money and say, please give me some money, I'm feeling embarrassed. Similarly, in this material world, I have to pay. I have to fall at someone's feet, I have to cheat, I have to plan, I have to do so many things I have to do. And tad nirodha. And by karma, tad nirodha. Immediately it gets destroyed. Death is happening. So a materialist who is identifying with this world, he's dying every moment. He's getting surprised. Prabhupada uses another word, struggle for existence. I really like this word again and again. I'm struggling to exist. I want to exist, that's all. But in this material world, I have to struggle. And nirodha asya. Avirbhavastu sambhava. But another identity is created. I hate the identity of working for General Motors. I want the identity of working for Google. You undertake another mental setup. That is the birth. If you have the right karma, you can take that mental setup. I work for Facebook. I like that body. I want to take that body. Then Google fires you after 12 months. Right? Really, these are all different bodies I'm taking. Every moment I'm taking new bodies. When I cultivate a desire, I'm manufacturing. Beautifully says, this infected mind is the factory where all unnecessary desires are being manufactured. What a great. I am manufacturing desires, which means they don't exist, but I'm manufacturing by association. I'm manufacturing desires that I think I need, but damn, I don't have anything to do with it. I have nothing to do with it, but I manufacture it. And I manufacture it, and I chase behind it, and I fail, and I blame myself for it. I have to blame someone. I have to blame Modi or Rahul Gandhi. I have to blame Trump. Whoever I have to blame. Somebody I have to blame now. Because if I blame myself, then I have to face it. I have to blame some person now. Whom to blame? Anyway. So in this way, it is an embarrassing situation. I am taking new bodies and manufacturing and chasing behind these desires. I fail. I think that the reason for my failure is because of this manufacturing. This type of manufacturing only because I fail. I will manufacture in a different way. I do process improvement. I do Six Sigma. I will do this. I will do DFSS. Deep design for Six Sigma project. I will do agile methodology. I will do waterfall methodology. I will do that methodology. Or whatever methodology you do, you are manufacturing these different desires in different forms. But the problem is in the root. This yoni is a problem. Dukkha yona devate. The yoni itself is a problem. What is the yoni, sir? Indriyani indriyarthebhyaha. You are again and again You are not this person. You are putting yourself something you are not. Why should you do it? You are not that. Why should I sell myself to something that I am not and then put my identity there, which is going to get destroyed and then suffer later? Why should I do it? This person will die. Why should I put my identity there? It will die. It will die. Fine. Why should I do? It will die. So why should I put my identity and happiness and curiosity into something that I'm not and die every day and every moment because of our adopted bodies? And why should we adopt newer and newer bodies every moment? Why not give it up immediately? So the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra is to give up the previous bodies I have undertaken. The act of giving up previous bodies is called a repentance. My previous bodies are useless things. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. So you're giving up the previous bodies, and you know what? The previous bodies have their bijam. That bijam will again come. As the fruit, it will come. The bijam, when I'm chanting, the fruit in the fruit form, it will come in the mind. What happened to that entity? What happened to that fruit you chased after? 2 hours yesterday, you chased after that fruit. What happened to that? It will come in that fruit form. A chanter must break that fruit form, gradually break it down. What is the seed? And invest it there. Give that seed. So he must break it down to the seed form and say, that seed I sacrifice. This is the yajna. I'm sacrificing that. Brahma. I'm offering it to, I'm doing offering to you. This seed I'm giving to you. Why? That seed is my identity. Where am I? Where am I right now? I'm not in the temple. Where am I? I am where my seed is. What I'm conscious about is where I am. And Krishna is mercifully bringing that thought to me in the phalam form and I'm chanting. He's thinking, that is where your seed is. Now are you going to sacrifice it to me or do you want to act upon it? Now I want to continue to act. I'm saying that I'm telling about myself. So when I take the desire, thank you, Krishna, for enlightening me. This is what I want. When I sacrifice it, then what happens? That is good chanting. Anyway, I digress a little bit. But I'm saying the Nirodha Asya. So I was talking about the Karani, how he's meditating about himself. But that himself is meditating is actually externalized. It has become Bahirmukham in the form of this multifarious dehams with different names and different forms. It could be gross forms, it could be mental names, it could be mental forms, it could be a song that I am humming in my mind. All these things are all different types of bodies I am undergoing, and these are being destroyed, and I'm very anxious. I'm meditating on myself. And everything, Prabhupada says, is an extension of this. My own false identity or extended identity. Prabhupada mentioned this many times in his books. Right? So I can say I'm meditating on my house and then just care for my children. But only if I care for your children, why not care for others' children? Because they're my children. Why my children? They came out of my body. Why am I this body? Right? Why am I this body? So one must, this is the importance of dharma. That when we practice the religious principles that are enunciated in the Shastra with faith in Krishna, then what happens? Prabhupada says in one of the purports, those who become purified in their acts of eating, drinking, sleeping, and defending. Very nice one, Prabhupada says. Those who are becoming purified in the acts of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending can see our own stupidity. But if I'm not purified, this is dharma. What is dharma? What is Samanya Dharma? What is Varnashram? What is all these things? Basically, it is becoming purified in the acts of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending. That's all. Based on one's own situation. If I'm a Purusha, okay, you have a different way of eating, mating. You want to eat a lot. So if you are a Stree, okay, you want to be like this. You are a man, you are a female, this, that, you are okay. Then, based on your eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, you do this. Based on your eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, you do this. You follow Stree Dharma, you follow Purusha Dharma, you follow this Dharma, you follow that Dharma, you follow Sannyasa Dharma, you follow the rest of Dharma. Why? Because when we are purified in our acts of eating and mating and sleeping and defending, and this cannot be the same for everyone, because our ways of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending are different. A man wants to defend himself differently, a woman wants to defend herself differently, a children want to defend himself or herself differently. And so it's a different dharma anyway. And I guess here again. So in this way, it purifies our consciousness, and we can observe this. And unless we are observing our bodies, we cannot realize we are not those bodies. Okay. Unless I'm observing my bodies that are going and coming. Agama abhayino anityaha. I cannot do the Diksha Svabhava. If I don't understand Agama abhayina, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. This identity comes, it will go. This body comes, it will go. This relationship comes, it will go. I should see these changing things again and again and again. Very, very nicely. Very distinctly, I must say. If I see that, then what happens? Then I can understand how is Avirbhavaha is Nirodha. Avirbhavaha Nirodha. It is appearing, it is disappearing. It is Avirbhavaha Nirodha. Avirbhavaha Nirodha. Avirbhavaha Nirodha. Who is that person who's going through all these things? That is me. Why should I go through all these things? I don't want to go. What should I do? Now you are eligible for initiation. Now you are eligible to go to the spiritual master. Why should I go this? I don't want. That's what you want. Why should I go through this? I'm a jiva. Why should I go through all these things? I don't want to go. So this feeling must come. Prabhupada's beautiful purport, I want to maybe talk about this at least 10 minutes if I have time. Prabhupada is saying, under the spell of Maya. Spell is that you become someone else when you are under the spell. You forget yourself. Someone does a band like Harry Potter, boom, and then you become someone else. Right? And then you think of something else. Similarly, I have become a different personality. We are not interested in personality development. Why? Because it is false personality. Why do I want to develop my false personality? I am not interested in personality development. I am interested in personality inquiry. Adhato Brahma Jignasa. Right? I'm interested in personality inquiry. And then personality, whatever is not needed, kill it. And then Mukti Ritva Anyatharupam Swarupena Vexti. Then be situated in your Swarupam. That is the Swarupam. We have to be again and again, be fixed in the Swarupa Nishtha. If you are not fixed in the Swarupa Nishtha, then what happens? Messes. Now, I'm under the spell of Maya, where I have taken many different personalities. Beautiful line. Materialistic life involves a series of actions and reactions. You mentioned we're all reacting right now. That reaction forms the action, and that action forms another reaction. In this way, how do you determine if it is a reaction or an action? If there is no inquiry in that reaction, no determination to follow the Shastra and the reaction, it is merely reaction. So sudden circumstances coming. I am not making a determination that this is what the Shastra is saying, this is what Krishna is saying, this is what my Guru Maharaj said, this is what Shri Guru Maharaj said. If I am not making a determination, it is merely a reaction. There is no action there. I'm not changing the course. Now, Prabhupada's very beautiful line. Let's pay attention to this line and meditate on this beautiful line. It is a long film spool. You know what a film spool is? What is a spool? Does anyone know what a spool is? Spool is basically the whole thing, where you have a camera and the whole unit, and the reel, yes. So the whole reel is called a spool. And once this is over, they take another spool. So Prabhupada is saying, what is this life? What is this life? Prabhupada is comparing the life to a long film spool. How is that? How long is a film spool? Infinitely long. Prabhupada is saying almost infinitely long. Because it has got an end. By the mercy of spiritual master, Prabhupada using the word almost eternal. So it is a long film spool. And what are the images of that spool? Actions and reactions. And imagine, Prabhupada is saying, and one lifespan, what is it? He's saying it is a flash. It is a flash. In such a reactionary show. There's one flash. In a million lifetimes this jiva is going under various names and forms. There's one splash. Now, what is success? What is defeat? This person told me this, that person told me, you are actually fire. So, when you look at it from a different perspective, not just a different perspective, but from the absolute perspective, your problems become over. That's it. Because it becomes different. Like Rajesh Prabhu is example. Like when you go on a flight, everything appears very small. When you go in the car, it appears very big. So Srimad Bhagavatam is you go in a flight and you see, look at it from a multi-life perspective. Not perspective. Perspective is maybe a feeling that it is one of like moral relativism. But there are many perspectives, is another perspective. No, not like that. It is that if you see reality, that's what then what happens? You can see this, what it is. So it is a flash. Prabhupada is in another place. This materialistic life is like all our situations and circumstances are like the bubbles on the ocean. Buddha means Jalabuddha is like a drop, it is like a flash. Our circumstances that I'm proud of, I'm against, I'm resisting, they have no substance. It is avasta. It is merely my own imagination of so many feelings. And the only way to finish this off is to realize it's an imagination. My feelings are all imaginations. On the idea that this material body is me. This is me, this is me, this is me. And you fight. Now, when a child is born, it is understood a particular type of body is the beginning of another set of activities. New activities are beginning, and an old man is another set of reactionary activities. So who am I? Am I an old man? Am I a young man? Am I a beautiful girl? Am I a beautiful boy? Am I a college student? I just felt like I was a college student some years ago. Already I am reaching upper 30s, another few years. Now, who am I? Am I a college student? Am I a young boy? Am I a father? Can't say I'm a father because my son will go after some time. Right? Maybe after a few years. Who am I? Which identity I am? Can we tell one identity? One identity, can I say who I am? What am I? So one must inquire on these points. Right? I'm constantly thinking so many identities. Right? I'm a Bhakti Viksha leader, I'm a temple president, I'm all different labels, different names, different feelings, different bodies. I am this devotee, I'm second initiated. I mean, of course, if one is all these things when seen in the very devotional perspectives can be very life transforming. But many times it happens that these can be again seen in a very material way, and that way it can be very detrimental to one's own advancement. So I must inquire I'm accepting all these bodies, but these bodies must not again increase my false identity. And Prabhupada is saying another beautiful point. Similarly, when the body of the boy changes into that of a youth, the boyish activities change into youthful activities. Beautiful verse of Bhagavad Gita in the 15th chapter, right? What is that verse? He takes one particular type of body and undergoes certain activities. What is the verse? 15.13 or 12. He takes a certain type of body and he enjoys and suffers as a result. Right? And Vimudaha Pashyanti, Pashyanti, it's not anything with that verse. Like 15 points. Shrotra, Chaksham, Sparsham, Charasam, Shrotra, Indriyam, right? So he takes a certain set of bodies, Indriyam, like giving a pig's body, I act like a pig. Given this body, like I heard a very strong brahmachari class when I was in Punjab. My counselor at that point of time was telling me, right? He's saying, what are you doing after this body enjoyment, right? When you are in the pig's body, you are, doing a pig's duet, right? You are singing a pig's romance song. So, and you are in the duck's this thing, you are walking at the duck. When you are in this body, you are walking there. When you are like in this way, we find different things beautiful. If I'm born in Eastern India, I'll find someone with a different feature that's very beautiful girl. If I'm a South Indian, I'll find this is something beautiful. If I'm born in a tribal region, I remember seeing a documentary where they say only if you are they basically punch this place the chin, and the chin's muscles have to hang. The longer it hangs, the more attractive it is. You see, I will find it very what is there. But there, because of their condition, they find it very attractive. Right? And a person born in Japan or China might find something else attractive. I would say, no, my taste is good. But everyone based on their own body finds their own attractiveness. But what is true? So this way, every person Utkramantam Siddham Bhavi, Bhujjanam Bhagwanidam, Vimudahanam Pashyanti. In this way, Utkramantam Siddham Bhavi, Bhujjanam means he enjoys. How? Guna Anvitam, based on the prerana of the gunas he enjoys. So I must, many times I just finished with this because it's getting a little late. Maybe I'll see if there are any things. Yeah, many times I don't want to give up something. The reason for these shlokas is that many times I don't want to give up something because I think it is mine. As long as I think it is mine, right, I won't want to give it up. Okay, unless it gives me a lot of pain. Anything that is mine, after you accept it as mine, I don't want to do it. So I've accepted this body as mine, this car as mine, this phone as mine. Now, if I think it is mine, it is very difficult to give it up. Very difficult to give it up. Right? But if the same thing, what I consider as mine, gives me pain, I'm putting here my mouth, my hand, because teeth. Say this teeth is mine. Right? Say, Nandrisha Prabhu comes to me and say, I'll break your teeth and we'll take one of your teeth. I'll be a little disappointed. But when this teeth is giving pain, I will do it. You see? So this Jnana Mishra Bhakti is where, because of my lack of attraction for Krishna, who's so sweet and giving me darshan, that I don't have potential difference. There is no raga for Krishna. Like Prabhupada gives the example of the car, right? The car is not going. So someone is pushing it from the behind. And then this car, after some time, it picks up and then it starts going. So everyone in this material world, more or less, 99.99%, this material, unless they have association of pure devotee, you don't have that free flow. Pickup is not happening. So where I have to realize there is pain here and there is illusion here. It is not yours. Then you give it up. If it is not yours. So one thing I give it up because it is not mine. Okay, it is illusion, you give it up. Or you understand it is giving you pain. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, Adi Devika. That way you give it up. Or you understand it is temporary and give it up. Either I or S or T. Illusory, or it gives me suffering, or it is separate. Someday you give it up. To make us understand this point. When an illusory is the most powerful. So what we saw today is not that it is causing you suffering. That is another thing. Not that it is temporary. That is another thing. It is that it is illusory. It is illusory. It's actually not it. It's mystical. How I am thinking I am this body. Every moment, every day I have a new identity. It is illusory. Visparism. So in this way, we have to push ourselves to the point of begging Krishna during our chanting. This is the conclusion of our sadhana. Because I was talking about how everyone is thinking about their sarupam in the karmi. I left there, I continue there. So the jnani is also thinking about their own self. But that self that they have is that they don't have the purest conception of self, that is Brahman transformed. Atmaratilevasya atmatrittastamanavaha atmanyeva santushaha tasya karyam. Krishna says, Antararama Antarjyoti. Krishna mentions all these things in the Bhagavad Gita, talking about the Jnana Nishtha. So where he is also thinking about his own self. The Karmi is also thinking about his own self, but he is anxious. The Jnani is thinking about his own self, but he is very peaceful. Now, how does the Jnani turn his attention to the whatever is not is to whatever is illusory to his own self? He understands this illusion, he inquires this, that, he understands how this is in this way. He navigates himself from his current conception of false self to his whatever his understanding of real self. His navigation, that is called yoga, that is called sadhana. This navigation from the false understanding I have, the real understanding is yoga. Now this jnana yogi does this navigation by this inquiry. Like Prahlad Maharaj gives the example of a gold person digging gold from underground. And in this way, digging, who am I? Who am I? In this way, he finds gold. He gives the example. Now a devotee, what does he do? Now should I just neglect these verses of Bhagavad and say, no, I'm there. No, if not, Prabhupada will have written compositions. What should I do? These verses of how I am caught up should be understood by a devotee. Because if I don't sufficiently understand, we have seen the Krishna consciousness movement, how if I make artificial or dogmatic advancement, then I can cause harm to myself and others. Because after some time, no one can advise me also. Right? If I advise also, I will rebel. Who are you to tell me? So it is very important to not make dogmatic advancement. Dogmatic advancement means, hey, do this. Hey, not like push me into fear and say, hey, that will not work. We need to intelligently understand how something is sensible and then move forward there. If I'm simply threatened, you will go to Narakam, you will go this. Okay, it can have its proportions, maybe 5%, 10%. But the bulk of advancement needs to happen out of thoughtful volition, thoughtful decision that we ourselves are comfortable with making. Right? So when we consider these statements and meditate on it, contemplate on it, have faith. That is very important to have faith. So when you look at how women are being told in the Bhagavatam, and it is said a few verses ago, it is sort of said, right? For a woman also it is said, a woman should therefore consider her husband, her house, her children, the arrangement of the external energy. Just the sweet singer of hunter is dead for the deer. Now, two things can happen when we read these verses. I become repulsed and say, because Bhagavatam is killing your self-identity, your current self-identity. It will kill everyone's self-identity. women's self-identity, man's self-identity, Brahmana self-identity, Grihastha self-identity, Brahmacharya, everything self-identity is a wholesale thing. Okay, it is wholesale thing. If you say, I'm repulsed by this, they don't show this to me, that means we are Ashtarata Danaha Purha Dharmasya. So Shraddha enables us to meditate on it very peacefully. If there is lack of Shraddha, we cannot meditate on it enthusiastically and peacefully. Something is told of about my Grihastha Ashrama. Meditate on it peacefully and neutrally. Meditate on it. Meditate on it, hear it, unequivocally, without any bias. That is Shraddha. I don't want to distort it. I don't want to do anything to it. If I enter it, I will mess it up. You tell me, I will meditate on it. If I don't understand, I'll say 5 more times, 10 more times, 20 more times. In this way, I get sufficient, I'll finish in 2 minutes. I get sufficient ammunition. I'm repeating the word. I will get sufficient ammunition to bomb my false ego. I get sufficient ammunition to bomb my false ego at the time of chanting in the form of repentful begging to Krishna. And spiritual master. That's the point. Because all these things must translate to begging the spiritual master to get Sri Guru Nishtha and Nishtha for Sri Nam, for chanting the holy name. Because holy name is the incarnation of Krishna. Krishna is giving darshan, really practically the form of his holy name. But because of my because of my offensive nature, aparadhe shunya ho yoho Krishna, because of aparadha, which is inattention, which is neglectfulness, which is udasinata, that indifference, because of too much enthusiasm and utsaha in the material sphere, I am becoming indifferent. This indifference, I am slashing that indifference by increasing my doubt of this world, by increasing the doubt I have about my own illusions. So that's how I want to conclude. So please bless me. That I become very original. I have integrity, and I meditate on these instructions. I have faith in Srimad Bhagavatam, and I become a genuine soldier. In Srila Prabhupada's army. These realizations come naturally to us, to me. So these realizations cannot be forced. They happen by the grace of Sri Guru and Sri Krishna. So I beg your blessings so these things may naturally come to me. Hare Krishna, the love comes. Sorry, I took a lot more time than I should have. Any questions? Any comments if I made something, any mistakes? Any senior devotees, if you like correcting me and something. Okay, nothing. Thank you so much.
So you mentioned about Srila Prabhupada's reaction in the beginning of the class. What was the reaction?
So Prabhupada said the letter, I remember, it is very good that you know that you are going to die in a few days. Many people don't have this opportunity. Now I would advise you to take Krishna consciousness very seriously, and like that he said, I don't forgot exactly which I maybe share that letter, with everyone. But Prabhupada said, completely surrender to Krishna, make Krishna your center, and then Prabhupada is very congratulated. You are very fortunate to know that you are going to die. And that was very, very enlightening for me at that point of time. And even right now. Thank you. Okay, so thank you. Please.
Great, Jay Sacinandan Prabhu ji ki jai.
Bhishma Dev Prabhu's wife?
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I have heard that. Yes. Maharaj was shouting.
Personal intervention in your life.
I remember Indradyumna Maharaj saying on that deathbed, now you remember Krishna was like giving a commentary, right, through the whole thing when the Mataji was going to leave. I have not read that book. I heard this from my mother who read it. So She was basically saying, Maharaj was basically sharing